Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have the first fall video of the year of 2025 and I'm super excited. So I'm going to be doing my fall TBR and I have so many books on my TBR that normally I combine like TBR and book recommendations for seasons in one video. Because I have so many for fall, I decided to break them up. So I'm doing my TBR first, and then I'll do fall book recommendations in my next video. So look out for that. And I have them separated out by genre. Most of it is fantasy, and then I have a couple of romance, and a lot of the romance ones are fall specific. Um, so we're gonna start with those first. Got my pumpkin cream cold brew. There's just something about the taste and like smelling the cold, like smelling it takes me back to October 2023, 1989 Taylor's Version. That was just a time, right? I think about it every time I have a pumpkin cream cold brew. Right, so this one is just like a regular romance, but it takes place in New York, and I'm like, that totally gives fall vibes. This is Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. So this one is about two people who met when they were moving into their NYU dorm, and then 15 years later they see each other on like the subway or something. It's been like 15 years, and you're like, I think you find out like what happened while they were in college, and then like what caused them to like lose touch. And I absolutely love that in romance books. It says a misconnection, a second chance of love, a second chance at love, and I know I love books like that, and I don't know why I haven't read it sooner because it's very short and sweet. So I definitely want to get to this fall. Next, I have a little dark romance. I want to finish what's it called? The Ruinous Love trilogy by Bryn Weaver, because I also want to read her new series. That she has a new book coming out this year, either September or October, I think. A new trilogy that's about serial killers. I think the main character is almost killed by a serial killer, and then like they fall in love. Maybe, I don't know. That that's crazy, but anyway. So this is the second book in the Ruinous Love trilogy, and this one is about Lachlan Kane and Lark Montague, and looks like, I think Lark is a singer songwriter. Yeah, I heard the audiobook that she like sings in this. I don't know if I want to listen to that, honestly. I feel like that would like make it cringy. I don't know. But I think I think there's a fake marriage in here. And obviously they're enemies and become lovers. Honestly, I feel like this trilogy is like, you have to like not take it seriously. I mean, Butcher and Blackbird, I thought I wasn't going to continue the series. I mean, it was funny. The banter was really good. I actually really want to read this one so I can get to the third one, because I feel like I'll really like the third one. The concept of the third one sounds really intriguing to me. Also, the trigger warnings at the beginning are absolutely insane. Like, it's a whole list. It's crazy how long it is. Like, it's a full page and a half, the trigger warnings. And it's so bizarre. Eyeballs. So here's just an example. Eyeballs, but not eye sockets, so you're welcome. Teeth and tooth byproducts. I might have ruined pizza and beer. Also smoothies. Still not sorry. Snow globes. Auto cannibalism? Question mark. Welcome to a debate you never thought you'd have. The list just goes on and on. So if you think about it, it's kind of funny. And I feel like the fall is the best time to read that kind of romance. Okay. Next, I have Casket Case by Lauren Evans. Lauren Evans is actually from Alabama, which is where I live, and that's one of the reasons that I picked it up. But also, it takes place in a fictional town in Alabama. Guys, Rabbit Town, Alabama is real. I just looked it up. I don't know why I assumed that it was fake. It's an hour and a half away from where I live, and it's near the Alabama-Georgia state line. I am in shock. And I was like, I haven't really read any books that take place in Alabama. So this one takes place in the fictional town of Rabbit Town, Alabama. And the main character, Nora, finds herself back in her hometown of Rabbit Town, Alabama, running her family's casket business. Definitely gives spooky vibes there. And then this new guy shows up to town, asking for directions. His name's Garrett Bishop, and he says he's a logistics coordinator. And he's kind of like very vague about what he does, and just weird things are happening around the town, and he's always there when these things happen. So she's trying to figure out like who this man really is, and it turns out he's a logistics coordinator for death. So I guess they have a little romance with that. I don't know. Sound intriguing. Really, it was the Alabama part that sold me on that one. Then I have these two books by the same author, by India Holton. This one is The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. I actually started this last fall, I think, and I got 6 chapters in, and it just wasn't grabbing my attention. So I think, but I don't want to DNF. So I soft DNF'd it, because I knew I would like it. I just think it was just the wrong time to read it. So it's very silly writing, not serious at all. But the little blurb on the back says, a prim and proper lady thief must save her aunt from a crazed pirate and his dangerously charming henchman in this fantastical historical romance. And there's 3 books in this series that I also would really like to get to this fall, and they're like really short and sweet, and honestly pretty fast paced, I think, once you get into it. So I do want to read that one. And then she has another series. I don't know what this series is called. Yeah, I don't know what this one's called, but the first book is called The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love. So I think an ornithologist like studies birds, maybe? I think that's what it is. But this says, rival ornithologists hunt through England for a rare magical bird in this historical fantasy rom-com reminiscent of Indiana Jones, but with manners, tea, and helicopter parasols. That just sounds so fun, and I think India Holton's like known for her like very fun and like unserious writing. At least that's what I get. That's what I got from like the first couple chapters that I read in the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. So I do really want to get to that one too, and if I like it, maybe continue that series. Okay, and the last romance that I have is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana, I think is how you say her name. This author wrote The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which I read last year, I think, or the year before, and I really enjoyed it. So I think this takes place in the same world, maybe? I actually don't know, but basically it's about a witch who has a second chance to get her magical powers and her life back on track. And honestly, I mean, look at the cover. Definitely giving cozy fall vibes. And I really liked the other book by this author, and it's just a great cozy fantasy read, so I'm excited to get to this one. Those are all the romance books on my TBR. I do have a couple of fantasies I don't really read a lot of, and I typically reach for them either when I'm in a slump, no matter what the season is, or in the fall. Like, if I need something really fast-paced to get me, like, I just want to read a book really fast, I would normally go for a fantasy because they're typically fast-paced and can, like, get me motivated. But I do like to save a lot of mysteries and thrillers for the fall. So I have 3 on my list right now. I actually would have more, but I didn't want to, like, overload it because I have a lot of fantasy to get through. So the first one I have is Society of Lies by Lauren Ling Brown. This one takes place on like a college campus, I think, like an Ivy League, and I love books that take place, like books like that. So Maya, who's the main character, is returning to Princeton for her college reunion, and it's been a decade since she graduated. And while she's there, she'll also be attending the graduation of her younger sister, Naomi, but Naomi winds up dead while she's there. But Maya thinks that there's more to the story than what the police are saying. Like, the police are saying that it was an accident, but Maya thinks that something bad actually went down, so she's trying to piece together, like, what actually happened to her sister, and yeah. I think that maybe there's secret societies in here, and I love when books have that. I don't know what it is, so I'm excited for that one. Then I have In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. I had this one on my TBR last year and I just didn't get to it, but it looks scary, honestly. Oh wait, this is another college reunion one's unsolved murder between 6 friends. I don't know why I didn't read this last year, because I love If We Were Villains. If you've never read it, takes place at like a Shakespearean college. It's about Shakespearean actors who something like bad happened where one of them wound up dead back when they were in school, and you're getting like the past and present timeline. I just love academic thrillers, maybe is what I would call it. That's like my mystery. Would you say that's a trope or a plot? I don't know. That's my favorite thing to read in mysteries. So this is the same thing. Okay, so this is told in racing dual timelines with a dark campus setting. I love that. And a darker look at friendship, love, obsession, and ambition. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife is an addictive, propulsive read you won't be able to put down. It sounds like it. I'm actually like really excited about that. Really excited. And then I just got this book maybe a couple weeks ago by Riley Sager. It kind of looks fall. It's like really dark with the headlights of a car on the front, but it's Survive the Night. And it's November 1991. Nirvana's in the tape deck. George H.W. Bush is in the White House. And movie-obsessed college student Charlie Jordan is in a car with a man who might be a serial killer. That's a crazy first sentence. So I guess it says Josh Baxter, the man behind the wheel, is a virtual stranger to Charlie. They met at the campus ride board, each looking to share the long drive home to Ohio, so I guess they both are like agree to drive with each other even though they have no idea. And I also like mysteries that start like that, because I read one, Five Total Strangers by Natalie Richards, I think. Yeah, that has like the same plot line. And I feel like I read something else like that. But I do enjoy books like that. And I do like Riley Sager's writing, and I do want to get into more of his books. I have a couple more on my shelf. After I read this one, I might be like more motivated to pick up his other ones. But yeah. Okay, so those are all my mystery ones. And then I have a historical fiction. I think that's what this is. This says, in the perilous days of World Wars One and Two, the gods held the fates and the hearts of four mortals in their hands. I also really like when gods are involved in books. I think that's really interesting. So I think this has some romance in it. And then the goddess Aphrodite is like involved in like these humans' lives and their fates and stuff. So I do want to get to that one. Then I actually don't even know really what genre this is, if it's like mystery. I'm assuming it's mystery because it takes place 2 different timelines. One's England 1898 and then the other one is California 2006. And I guess somehow they're connected. These 2 timelines, where in 2006 the main character is trying to find who her dad is, what happened to her mom who died. And I guess it has to do with Evelyn Aubrey from England, 1898. So, yeah, I don't really understand the concept of it, but I feel like it definitely gives cozy fall vibes. And then this book has been on my TBR for more than 3 years. I've got at least, and it's A Secret History. Every fall, I say that I'm going to read it. Actually, last fall, I probably got about halfway through. I listened to it on audio while I was at work, and I can't tell you a thing that I remember. Like, I don't know what was happening. I don't know the characters' names, what part I was at. I don't know. So that obviously wasn't the right time to be reading it. So I do still want to read it because I think that I'll love it, especially if I love If We Were Villains. It's got the dark academia college setting and like New England college setting. And I'm a sucker for that. If we've learned anything, it's that I'm a sucker for that. So I am going to read this fall. I have to. Okay. Now I have fantasies, and I don't really have them separated too much. I kind of have like some just like witch related and then just fantasy, that kind of thing. So first I have the second book in the Discovery of Witches series. The second book is Shadow of Night. I read the first one last fall and I really liked it. And I wanted to continue the series, but I just didn't. I think because they're so long, honestly, like I just couldn't make myself like read all of it, and the words are like really small on the page, but I do like it. I would describe the first one as almost like an adult dark academia Twilight. That's basically what it is. It takes place in Oxford. That's the dark academia setting. And Diana, the main character, is a witch, but she doesn't use her power. She doesn't want to. But she comes across this like manuscript that witches, vampires, werewolves maybe, I think maybe, I can't remember all the different what would you even call that, creatures in this world that want that manuscript that she found. So she like unwillingly has to like put herself back into that world, and she falls in love with a vampire geneticist named Matthew Claremont. So, and there's a show too on Netflix, and I actually did watch most of season 1, but then I stopped because I didn't know how far it went because I haven't read the second one yet. And it's pretty good, but it really is dark academia, adult Twilight. So, it's a really good fall watch if you're interested, if you don't want to read it. But I do want to continue the series. And then I have In Charm's Way by Lana Harper. I haven't read any of her other books. Is this the first one in the series? I don't even know. But I think this one is a sapphic romance, I think. I don't even know if that's the correct term. A witch struggling to regain what she has lost casts a forbidden spell, only to discover much more than she expected. Anyway, I don't really know much about it. I like to go into these books kind of blind, honestly. And then this one I bought because, look, I bought this last year, like towards the end of fall. But look at this cover. This is the most beautiful cover I've ever seen, I think. Perfect cozy fall vibes. I love the purple, the oranges, the cat. So good. It's called Bewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. And this is a debut novel by this author. And it's about a burned out witch who will need to turn to her friends and trust herself to find the magic in her own life again. It just seems like a good, cozy, witchy, has good, cozy, witchy vibes. And also, I think there's just another book coming out. I don't know if it's part of the same world or if it's going to be a series, but there is another one by this author coming out, and it's more like pink. I'll try to find a picture of it and like put it on the screen. But that one looks really good too. Then the last one, and then I have Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. This is her newest release, and she's a thick one. I mean, look at it. It's going to take me a while, but this one I think is about vampires too. And it has, wait, this isn't witchy. This is vampires. Anyway, I put it in the same section, whatever. But it has like 3 different, timelines, I think. That's what I'm getting from the blurb on the side. Um, so I guess you're getting maybe all those different points of views. Anyway, I don't really understand much about this one, but I do want to get to that one. Both of these books, next two books, are Romeo and Juliet retellings. This one by Olivia Blake is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but with witches. It's two rival witch families set in New York City. Like, that sounds incredible. So I do want to read that one. I think I've just been like put off by it, maybe just because it feels so long, and I wasn't like ready to like fully invest in it. But I do want to get to that one. And then this one is the other Romeo and Juliet retelling, These Violent Delights. I've had this on my TBR for so long, and I really want to read it. I've heard so many good things about this one. But this takes place in 1926 Shanghai, and I think that sounds. I think if I'm going to read either one of these, I'm more likely to pick up this one. I just think my brain can handle that one a little bit better. It just depends on like my mood, I guess, at the time, if I'm in the right mindset to read that. Okay, next are just regular fantasies. Babel, I don't know, by R.F. Kuang. Don't really know what this one's about either. It looks very difficult to read and understand. I don't know. I do want to read it. I think it'll take me a good minute because the words are very small. I honestly have no idea what this is about, and reading the back does not help me. So, it says Babel is the world's center for translation and, more importantly, magic. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see about that one. Okay, and then next I have House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. I've heard good things about this one too. The front, there's like a little blurb that says, this haunting modern fairy tale will wrap you up like a glittering fog before going for your throat. That sounds crazy. But this is about Iris Hollow and her two older sisters, who are unquestionably strange. As children, they disappeared on a Scottish city street, only to return a month later with no memory of where they had been or what happened to them. So I guess now, a couple years later, one of her older sisters goes missing again. And yeah, I guess there's some supernatural things, and the other people are looking for her sister too. I don't know, but it's short and sweet. It's a YA. Definitely fall vibes. Okay, the next one I'm actually really excited about. This is the second book. I don't know. I guess it's just a duology. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how many books are going to be in this series, but this is Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. She wrote Phantasma, and I read Phantasma last fall, and it's the perfect fall read. Like, it's very dark Gothic fantasy and had like deadly games in it, and I ate that up. It was so good. The romance in it, I was eating it up, and I'm super excited for this one. This one came out in April, I think, or March, but I wanted to save it for the fall because it really does, like, the vibes of it are so good. I really don't know what this is about. The sister of the main character from the first book. The main character in this, a devil. I don't know. There's devils. There's all these kind of supernatural, paranormal things going on, and it's so fun. I've never read anything like this. So I'm super like the first book, so I'm really excited to continue it. And then this next book, I honestly bought because it's got a dragon on it, and I was in a dragon mood. I don't really know what this one's about. It says, long ago, humans betrayed dragons, stealing their magic and banishing them to a dying world. Centuries later, the descendants worship dragons as gods, but the gods remember, and they do not forgive. So, I wonder if you get, like, dragons' point of views, maybe? I don't know. I think I bought this, like, after I was on, like, my fourth wing high, and I wanted more dragon things. So I do want to read this one. And then the next book I have, I think this came out last year too. Lee Bardugo's The Familiar, spellbinding novel set in the Spanish Golden Age, which I feel like I love when I find fantasy books that are like that, because I haven't read a book set during that. Honestly, I don't know. It says fate can be changed, curses can be broken. So, set in the Spanish Golden Age, there's magic. I don't know if there's romance in here, honestly, but I love the inside cover. It's like pomegranates. We'll see if we get to that one. This one seems like one of those that like I have to be in the right mood to, just because I feel like it might take a lot of brain power. But I love the cover of it. It looks so creepy. And then the last book I have on my physical TBR, I'm going to go through some of my anticipated releases coming out soon for the fall also. But this is the last book on my physical TBR. And that's The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillick. I've heard so many good things about this book, and I'm really excited. This is a gothic, mist-cloaked tale of a young prophetess? Is that how you say it? Who is forced on an impossible quest with the one knight whose future she cannot see. So she's like, it says she's a diviner, so I guess she can like see the future. Is that what that means? I heard really good things about the male main character in here. Like I've seen some quotes, and I think I'll definitely enjoy that one. So I'm excited to get to that one. So those are all my physical TBR. And I have a couple on my radar that are coming out in the next several months. So first is If It Makes You Happy by Jolie Olivia. This one, the cover screams fall. It screams fall. But we have next door neighbor who is a small town golden boy, a single dad, and a hot baker. Like that sounds like my dream, honestly. And I love like just small town books like this that give Gilmore Girls vibes, and just I think what really sells it to me is the single dad. That's going to get me every time. So that one comes out September 2nd. So on Tuesday. I'm filming this on Sunday. Comes out in 2 days. I'm so excited. Next is People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. This one, actually, I don't even really know what this is about. Prudence Welsh works at her father's gas station, writes poetry, and cares for her mother, who is diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. And then she meets Milo, who shows up the town just when Prue's feeling let down and like needs adventure, basically. And I think he might, I guess, helps her. I don't know what the word is, like live again, maybe. Like she just feels like down from all the things that are happening with her family and like what's going on. I love Hannah Bonham Young's writing, so I'm excited for that one. That one comes out September 9th. Yeah. Next is Hot Wax by ML Rio. I'm so excited for this. She hasn't released a full novel since If We Were Villains, and I am so ready for it. This one is about a woman's reckless mission to make sense of the events that shattered her childhood and made her who she is. So in summer 1989, she's 10 years old, and her father is, I guess, a rock star maybe, because it says she's like drawn like a magnet to her father's forbidden world of electric guitars and tricked out cars. And while her mother remarries, she jumps the chance to tag along on the concert tour that just might be Gil and the Kill Wild Ride to Glory. And then something about she's the only witness to a desperate act of violence, so she spends the next 29 years trying to disappear. And then her father dies, and I guess she has to like go back and relive kind of like what happened back then. I don't know. I love ML Rio's writing and her mysteries, so I'm really excited for that one. I think that one also comes out on the 9th. And then Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. This takes place in the same world as Divine Rivals. And I didn't know that's what it was. I thought this was like going to be like a brand new series, but it's not. So it's basically a prequel about Matilda, who is the youngest goddess of her clan. And I guess it's going to be about the gods that are a part of the Divine Rivals world. I don't want to really read too much about it because I like going into these things kind of blind, but that one kind of blind. But this one also comes out on the 2nd. And then Wild Card by Elsie Silver comes out September 9th. This is the 4th book in the Rose Hill series, and I'm so excited because this one, I've never read this trope before, but it's ex-boyfriend's dad. So I'm assuming there's an age gap in there too, but you get some of the snippets of these two in the last book, and I'm very excited for that one. And then Soul Searching by Lalo Sage. This comes out September 30th, I think. But this is her new paranormal series. Still Western vibes, but has paranormal elements to it, which sounds very intriguing. Then we have Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. This is her adult debut, and honestly, I don't know much about this one either, but it's written by Stephanie Garber, and I'm going to read it. Comes out October 7th. I don't know if I said that already. Then we have Mate by Allie Hazelwood. This is the 2nd book after Bride, and this one's also like a paranormal romance with werewolves and humans and vampires. And I think this is about the main character's friend from Bride. Then we have Daddy Issues by Kate Goldbeck. The thing that sold me with this one comes out in November, I think. But what sold me about this one is that it's a single dad again. That's all I needed to read. And like as soon as I saw single dad, I was like, yep, I already know I'm going to read it. I don't need to know anything else. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. And then Revolve by Ball Cabra comes out October 15th. This is the 3rd book in the Off the Ice series. So there's Collide and then Spiral, and then this one, 3rd one, is Revolved, and this one's about an Olympian figure skater who had an accident on the rink, and then Dylan Donovan, who is on the hockey team in this world from that one. And I really like this series. I'm a sucker for hockey romances. I don't know why. They're just my favorite sports romances to read, and yeah. So those are all the new releases that I'm looking forward to right now. So I have a very ambitious fall TBR. I need to probably get started on them. Since tomorrow is September 1st. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's video. I'm going to be filming my fall book recommendations soon, so look out for that. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!